Hello, I'm Barnabas Blue and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you a depth review for 2020. I'm going to start by giving you a general overview of the game depth, including the shark goals and diver goals with a little bit of gameplay basics, followed by some issues that the game has, as well as what is good about the game. Remember, these are my personal opinions, but I will do my best to explain why I have my opinions. The game is a multiplayer PvP game. The main game mode, Blood and Gold, puts 2 shark players against 4 diver players. It does not have a campaign or anything like that. It does, however, have bots, so you can play single player. The game can be quick and intense and a fun experience as a diver due to the limited view and the speed of the sharks, and of course, who wouldn't want to try playing a shark? The shark's goal? Simple. Kill all the divers and destroy a robot named Steve that is opening treasure vaults across the map. The sharks can kill divers by lunging at them, and then proceeding by moving their mouths rapidly to thrash the diver that is currently in the shark's mouth. And they can destroy the robot named Steve by ramming him. However, some sharks have unique abilities that allow them to kill divers other ways or do more damage to Steve. The divers, on the other hand, can win by killing all the sharks or escorting and protecting Steve until he reaches a boat to deliver the treasure he got from opening the vaults across the map. Sharks and divers both start with 30 extra lives. A robot named Steve has 4 points earned escorting him where he will stop and need to open vaults where the divers need to protect him and each other from the shark players. The divers each receive 1,000 gold every time Steve opens a treasure vault, which they can then spend on weapons or utilities. The divers should also be conscious of looking for gold laying on the ground that they can deliver to Steve at any point by swimming next to Steve or by throwing the gold bags to Steve. To alert the divers when a shark is nearby, they will hear a heartbeat, which beats faster as the shark gets closer to the diver, giving them an audio cue when they are in danger. During the starting phase of the game, the divers will start with a knife and a welder for repairing Steve, as well as 800 gold, giving them choice between a few weapons or utility items that they can buy at the start of the game, such as mines that blow up when sharks are in proximity to them, or flares and buoys that highlight the sharks through walls if the sharks get too close. The sharks, on the other hand, will restart with 10 evolution points during the starting phase before the game begins. Sharks spend these evolution points to purchase upgrades. Evolutions let sharks players decide how they want to upgrade their species and their ability and their playstyle. There are 12 shark species in the game: tiger shark, lemon, bull, copper, great white, thresher, hammerhead, mako, blue, goblin, oceanic whitetip, and megalodon. Certain ones, however, require you to complete a challenge using a specific shark to unlock, and one of which is only playable for the game mode Megalodon Hunt, which is of course the Megalodon. Each shark species has a unique ability, such as the goblin shark, which sends a decoy of itself out. All sharks have a stat line that varies between sharks. This stat line includes durability, speed, agility, and crash damage of the shark. The sharks can heal if they survive an encounter with the divers by eating seals across the map, highlighted in purple for the shark players. The divers get to choose from different skins they can use, but the skins of the diver have no effect on the game performance of that diver. Divers have 5 categories they can purchase items from, including pistols, rifles, spears, miscellaneous, and consumables, for a total of 24 items. Divers can also buy upgrades for many of the items. Some examples of these are poison, making the sharks have to eat a seal to remove the poison. There's also a bleeding effect, requiring the shark that got hit by the weapon with bleed to sit still for a moment, or the shark player will continue to take damage. There are also many other weapon upgrades that I can cover in a future video for everyone if they're interested. The game has 3 base game modes and 1 other if an event is running for the game. Now, however, this leads me to some problems with the game. Unfortunately, the game has a limited player base, so usually just 1 or 2 game modes will be getting enough players to actually play them. One thing to consider if you haven't bought the game is that the queue times for matches can tend to be rather long, typically between 1 to 5 minutes if your queuing is either sharks and divers. And this also depends on the time of day and what day it is. The game allows you to queue for your matches divers, sharks, or either. And since it only takes 2 shark players versus the 4 diver players to find a match, it is much faster to find a match as divers than it is sharks. Sharks, on the other hand, unfortunately can sometimes have up to a 7-minute queue on low player nights. However, the game does have a private match option where you and your friends can play the game, and it also has AI bots with adjustable difficulties to fill any remaining spots open, and the AIs are not too bad on higher difficulties. Now, while high queue times are a bummer, it is really the only flaw I personally see to this game. I find this game quite enjoyable. For the good things about the game, well, this game, despite being nearly 6 years old, the developers still keep up to date with it and still run events and occasional updates to keep the game flavorful and interesting. This is a huge plus, as plenty of older games have lost support by now. Developers in the past had also talked about releasing the game on Xbox and PS4, so perhaps if the game picked up traction again that would be possible, or maybe even a depth too. However, since the game is older, in order to pick up traction, something big would have to happen to re-increase interest in it. For me, I find this game extremely enjoyable and like no other, and that's why I'm drawn to it. So if you are getting tired of the same old games and would like to try something new and different, then yes, I would recommend picking this game up, and it's relatively cheap on Steam. If you want to get even cheaper, just wait for a sale to come around. If you guys appreciate the content and like the video, or want to see more in-depth guides on this game, or others, then please hit that subscribe button. Also, linked in the description will be my Twitch channel and Twitter if you'd like to contact me or support me. If you have any suggestions, questions, or want to see another video, then please let me know down in the comments, and thank you for watching.